everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Cities Skylines. I certainly hope you're having a fantastic day or night or whatever it is, wherever you are, because I'm excited to be back. We are, of course, in Peach Trees. It is, of course, going to be the City of Gardens, and things are going pretty well. We have decent money, we have a bit of a population, and, of course, it being me, we have 73% traffic flow. It's not great. It's not. It's just not great. But I have been a little bit busy. You might notice that this area in here has changed a little bit. I basically went in, I squared everything off a little bit, which I know is funny considering I mentioned how I wasn't wanting to get rid of all of this, but this bit I think needed it because this was the center of a lot of our traffic problems. Traffic flow was at 61% before I made these changes. Now 73% still ain't that good, but it's better than 61. Basically, I went in, I added a fourth lane to some of these one-way roads, not to all of them, but to some of them. Obviously added more ways in and out of that area, because I did kind of want to keep the one-way thing around here. I just kind of like that. So I figured we keep that in there. This all got squared off a little bit, and there's now some districts in here. So we have an Old Town policy, so this road can't be used as a through road, and we have Old Town on this as well, which isn't necessary, but it is a thing that we have. And to be totally honest, I'm thinking, just because we have that Old Town policy, let's go ahead and just do that. It doesn't do any harm. It's not like traffic's going to suddenly start, you know, flying in here, but we might as well do that. It doesn't do any harm, and while we're at it, let's just, you know what? Let's not do residential there. Let me do some commercial right there. And let me go ahead and just extend the district a little bit so that that commercial is actually going to contribute to our goal. Because if this is the first episode of this series that you're watching, which is a little bit silly, it's part 4. But there's two things you got to be aware of. Number one, it's a scenario, so there are goals. Number two, you might want to subscribe if you're not already. Just throwing that out there. But there are goals, there are objectives, and as you can see, we're kind of well on the way. We need 10 different park and plaza buildings. We've done that, smashed it, knocked it out of the park. 15,000 squares of organic and local produce specialization is going to be needed. We're working on that. Apparently, based on some of the comments, we are going to need some farming industry, so we'll get to that. Average citizen happiness of 85, we'll get there, and population over 50,000. We are well on the way to that, I think, anyway. Between episodes, I did also do two other things. I redid this section of highway. It's not just a little bit smoother, it's got more of a smooth slope going on. And again, had to square it off with this new section of avenue. So that's just slightly different to what it was before. Are you guys parked on that road? You are. Oh, I don't like that. Hold on. There's not really any way I can fix that either without just using Traffic Manager, is there? Can I just say don't do that? Because that's kind of silly. You guys shouldn't be parked there. Speaking of that kind of intersection, though, as awful as it is, it has sort of been working. So I did it again over here. Hey, we're a big city. Beautiful. That's actually quite useful because we got the crematorium. I do want that, and the water treatment plant. I do want that. So we'll come back to being a big city in just a second. Turn off parking on those stretches as well. So I did that same kind of intersection right here. And as you can see, it is causing traffic to back up on the highway a little bit, but it doesn't, it's not so bad. Like, as you can see, it does sort of clear out. So while there are tailbacks, it does eventually clear itself out. And that has, at least a little bit, helped to, you know, lessen the load on the roads in here. So I'm kind of okay with this. You know, it is causing tailbacks, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's glowing red, but it's not the end of the world. I don't think anyway. We might need to keep an eye on it, but I don't think it's a disaster. Now let's go ahead and get some crematoriums in here since we did just unlock them, and I do want to get my hands on a few of these. So throw one in there. Let's go ahead and get one up in here somewhere as well. So we'll go for that spot. Seems pretty decent. I'm thinking we go for down there as well, and I'm thinking we go for a crematorium right in there as well. And that should be fine because I want to go ahead and start emptying that cemetery. That's going to be a pretty good idea. Get that space, make it available for redevelopment. That's a horrible way of phrasing it, but that's what we're doing. So that's the plan for the cemetery, basically. Now, I'm also noticing we have no demand for residential right now. So I'm wondering if it would be worth clearing. In fact, you know what? I'm going to wonder no more. I'm just going to do it. That's what this episode is going to be. We're bringing back that meme, the just do it thing, the Shia LaBeouf thing. We're bringing that back. We're just going to do it. That's this episode is about just none of this sitting there going, I don't know, maybe, no, oh, well, none of that. None of it. We're just going in. We're going to put some zoning in here. And Birch Hills is going to be specialized, is what it's going to be. And it's going to contribute towards our goal. Because I feel like a lot of this series already, I know we're only 4 episodes in, but I feel like a lot of it already has been me waffling about saying, oh, we're going to do this with the roads. We're going to do that with the roads. Nah. Don't need to. Don't need any of that. We just need to get on with the challenge. We need to get on with developing things. Also, this is a very strange, unfinished looking hill, if I'm totally honest. It's a little weird looking, but that's fine. How many tiles do we have available to purchase right now? Because I kind of want these two. So give me that one. And that's the only one I can get. So that's fine. Give me that one. That'll do. Where do I have farming available? That's kind of a question. Over here is a little bit of fertile land. There's a fair bit of ore up there, actually. And there's some fertile land out there. So I do kind of want to set up some farming. I do kind of want to do that because we have a lot of demand for industry. I don't think farming will actually get rid of that demand, but I do want to set up some farming. So is this the spot we want to do that? That's like really close to the city. I feel like I can't be too picky, to be totally honest. I mean, the challenge is sort of the challenge, right? But I just don't know that I want to put farming right there. I just don't know. I mean, it'd be a bit, I think it would be a bit weird. You know what? I did say it wasn't going to be one of those, will we, won't we episodes, didn't I? Oh boy. I guess we're putting farming out here. Let me have a look. So the resource is right like here. I'm tempted to put like a box around it, but no, let's not do that. Let me look at my intersections and see what I have available for a what is that? Oh, that's interesting. So that's like 2 parallel highways. Oh, that's very interesting. I like that a lot. That's very strange looking. Okay. We have this, which is a little big to fit in that space. We have this, which is arguably better. Arguably, I think is probably the fair word there. I think I'm going to try and get that one to fit in there. Because I do need a new intersection for this space. I think it's fair to say, if we're going to do farming, we need a way for traffic to sort of get over there. So we're looking for like this kind of fit is what I think we're looking for. So take those back, and then this needs to go there, right? So that space is already occupied. What's already occupied by? It looks like it's occupied by the road. Oh, hold on. There is there it is. So that, but it needs to be slightly lower. Okay, we can do this. So I need to be there, I think. So right there. And, ooh, that is actually kind of spot on, isn't it? So there. Why is that not working now? Why? Why is that not working? It's occupied. Oh, it's occupied by the road on the left, isn't it? Okay. Is there any chance I can rotate this and get it to work this way? No. Okay, so that road in there needs to go. Unless I use anarchy. I realize I could just use anarchy, can't I? Sure. Bit of road anarchy never hurt anybody. We don't have any pillars in that road, which is good. This is a very interesting looking layout. I like it a lot. Let's go ahead and just connect everything up and make sure that it works. Which honestly, it looks like it will because it's kind of all connected together in such a weird way. But it does. It genuinely looks like it'll sort of work. I do want to see if I can have a bit of fun here. So I want to do this. We'll actually go ahead and downgrade that to not have sound barriers. I want to do that as well. And then I think these bits in the middle can be single lanes, which is maybe risky considering farming is going to be over there. But just with the way my traffic is right now, I want to try this because that means that we have got... no, that's 2 lanes there. We'll do that. That's fine. So like that. That's a bit weird looking. That's really, really weird looking, isn't it? I don't like it. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's roll back on that idea. Let's, you know, meet in the middle. We'll go for 2 lanes each way there. Just so it's not as strange looking. It's still kind of strange looking, but that'll do. So 2 lanes in the middle, that's fine. Let me see here. This could probably be 2 lanes as well. So that bit's 2 lanes and that bit's 3 lanes. That should be 4 lanes. Okay, let's just do this. Let's just do it this way. I like my 2-lane highways. What can I say? I really like them. So we'll do that kind of thing, right? So that is fine. Let's just let traffic do its thing for a second because I want to see what this looks like when it gets moving. Interesting, it does seem to have a little hiccup there. Can I maybe adjust you slightly and then get you to not... Okay, so does that work better? Like if you guys... Okay, so they do still turn pretty dramatically there. That might be better. That honestly might be better. Yeah, that looks like it'll flow much better. So traffic... Yeah, there we go. So they're flowing much better there. This, therefore, I think... needs to be more like, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh wow. That's rough is what that is. Can I get you to move this way? And then you can sort of do that. That looks a bit better. That looks like it'll flow better. I don't know why. Oh, they're all burning. That's why they're all collapsing. That's fine. Yeah, so that looks like it'll just flow a bit better. Not really sure how I feel about that intersection, but it looks more interesting than what was there before, so I will allow it. What are we going to do for the connection to the farming area then? Because I'm debating whether or not this should be like a road, like a big avenue through the middle or something like that. I don't really know like what to... I guess a farming area probably wouldn't have a big intersection, but this one does. And it looks... The more I look at it, the more I really dislike it. I'm going to be honest. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, oh, do I really want that? And I don't. That's a diverging diamond, isn't it? That's a Gothic interchange. Hello? Do I have a diverging diamond interchange in here somewhere? I really hope so, because I'd like one of those. If that would work with, yeah, that might not work with this. Well, we'll find out. Okay, so to answer my question, I do, in fact, have a diverging diamond interchange. It is arguably not exactly like the real life thing. I think there are some distinct differences to it in that it doesn't quite have the same, the exact same flow, but it's pretty good. It seems to sort of work. I'm curious to see how it works with, you know, more traffic, but we'll get there in due time. So let's go ahead and put an avenue out here, I guess, because that's apparently the way this is going to work. Why are you not snapping? What is this? Node snapping. Why? Can I get you to snap at 180 degrees there? Why are you not snapping at 180? Well, you are. I'm just an idiot. All right. So I guess we'll just bring some farming out off of an avenue. That doesn't feel right, though. What about like an avenue with a bunch of trees on it? No, that doesn't feel right either. That doesn't feel like it would be in the middle of like a farming area. I mean, this kind of does, but it also kind of doesn't. I just don't know. I'll do that for the sake of making it feel a little bit more industrial around here. It's very tempting to do the same the whole way across the interchange, but I'm not going to go that far. I just don't know. It doesn't feel like farming, but I guess we're going for more the challenge than we are anything else. So at this point, I don't think it matters, and I think I need to stop being so picky. So let's keep going out like this. Let's say that, I mean, what distance is this? This is 50. So 25 is there. So off of the middle of this, we want to go, so 25 there. We want to go, let's say 7. Let's say 5 in each direction. And I guess industry, and I guess farming, and I guess we need the main building, which needs an industry area. So into here, farming industry needs to be specified. We can do that in a sec, and we need to just go into here. I guess this is the way we're doing it. I guess, you know, that's going to be crest sector, whatever crest sector is going to end up being. We'll sort of go back and forth like that. And I guess the farming industry main building can't go central because of course it can't. Ugh! Why? Why? Every time. I hate that so much. I hate that so much. I genuinely hate that so much. I can get it sort of sideways. That's fine. Like, that is okay. That sort of looks like it's meant to be that way, but oh, it's not fair. Every time. I'm always so smug with it. I'm like, oh, we'll do a little thing and I'll put the building there and then boom. No, you're not doing it. You're not doing it. You're not doing your clever building thing. Ugh, every time. Whatever. That's fine. So this is Crest Orchard, I guess, which we can have small crop fields off of if we really want to. We can have fruit fields and we can have animal pastures as well. And to be totally honest, I'm thinking a couple of animal pastures at the back there might not be a bad idea. These guys are going to need power and water as well. So let's just do exactly that, I guess. Bit of power, bit of water. Just a little something to, you know, treat them right and all that. So, let me see. Where can I get water from? I guess just go out into sort of the middle of the road, go straight over and connect it like that. So that'll be water for all of this, which is beautiful. In terms of power, I'll figure that out in just a second. I think I'm going to keep this relatively simple as well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring industry roads out there and out there. And I'm going to throw in some crop fields there and there, just on either side. And I think we'll do some silos just here and here, so they're kind of tucked away a little bit. And that should be fine. I'm not going to go too crazy with the exact detail. We are getting low on water and sewage. I'm not going to go too crazy with like super amounts of detailing in this. I am going to get a suburban power line in here though, speaking of detailing, just because it looks a bit better. Wait, does that provide? Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. So just raise that up a little bit. Bring it through there. Bring it across the middle. Bring it into about there. And bring it back down. So to about there. And then this can just sort of connect to there. And that looks so much better going out to all of this than the big pylons. So that's nice. Anyway. We need to fix this water problem. So, what is this? Your building is not empty. Oh, beautiful. All right, get rid of that. Let's also get rid of you two because you're not needed anymore. And let me go a bit further downstream and say that what we're actually going to do is throw in these guys because they are, or do we want to do these guys? It is very tempting to do the eco water outlets, but these guys are much more efficient. Actually, just before I even go there, let me get a key, or a quay, if you will. And let me use move it really cheekily just to level the whole thing up to whatever height. So it is level. We'll just raise it. And then we'll throw these guys onto the quay right here. And, you know, it'll just make things a little bit easier. Let me turn off anarchy as well so that spacing is as exact as I can get it. So it's sort of more vanilla looking. And that should solve all of the sewage problems. In terms of water, I mean, first and foremost, let me go in with a bit of map editing here. Let me bring the brush size up. Then let's just do this. So there's a little bit more water available. I think we could actually just lower it even further if we really wanted to. So something like that, just so there's plenty of water. All right, you know, just so we're not going to run out anytime soon. And I'm just going to throw another I'm just going to throw another pump in there, really. So that's going to go there. And that should be more than enough. As for these guys, they're going to need some power of some sort. So I'll just give them this thing, which should power them nicely. So yeah, they're all sorted. They're going to be pumping out all that schmackus. And these guys are going to be sucking up all that good old-fashioned water. So these guys should... Oh my god, that is a lot of vehicles already. Wow, that got busy quickly, is what that did. Let me just do that. And hope that... Oh my god, that got busy so quickly. Like, crazily so. Oh wow, yeah, so it turns out that there's a lot of traffic. Yeah, this whole thing here might fall apart very quickly, but we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it, I guess. But I would imagine that's going to make it easier for our local produce stuff to, you know, keep up business, right? I would imagine, anyway. Speaking of which, I might have an idea. I'm tempted to build up here with another square of local produce, but I don't know. Actually, I'll tell you what we're going to do. These two guys are empty as well, so tear those out. Let me rebuild all of this space. Just everything in here. I did say I was keeping a lot of the curves. I didn't say I was keeping it all up here. That's the thing. I did say I was keeping all this. I didn't say I was keeping all that, so that's fine. This needs moved. It can go there. And what I'm thinking I want to do, if I'm totally honest, is I want to do this again. So these roads are what? They are 40 across. So if I go to road guidelines and I go from here and I turn off road guidelines and I go 20, and then I put myself in a cheeky little avenue right up the middle there. So we'll go for this one. We want it to just go up to there. And off of each side, we want to go 20. And then the middle, 20. On the other side, we do the same thing. And this is just going to be another chunk of that kind of zoning. Of the local produce type zoning. And I'm thinking I'm going to do it again because I'm boring like that. So from here, we want to go 20. And then bring this straight down. And basically, this is going to be an easy way to get a bunch of commercial in here that also happens to be local produce, and that also happens to be on the backbone of what will hopefully be a really efficient avenue. Because if it's not really efficient, it's going to be a disaster. So with that in mind, let's just upgrade this to be, you know, having a bunch more lanes and also have trees on it because that'll look fancy. We'll bring it across here. Don't know why that bit's being weird. Don't know why that bit's being weird either, but we'll not worry too much about it. We'll bring this straight down. Bring this straight down. And that's all sort of working. Then what we want to do is go in with a marquee tool. And all of this needs to be commercial, except for that bit in the middle. The rest of it needs to be offices, except for that little bit there needs to be commercial as well. And then all of it just needs to be separate districts, right? So if I was to go in and say, I wonder if I could make it all just the anchor district. Would that be worth doing, I wonder? I think it might be. So let's just make this whole thing anchor district since, you know, it's all going to be the same anyway. It's all going to be local produce and all that good stuff. So the whole thing is just going to be anchor district. So let's go across. Let's go through here as well. And I think that'll be fine. I think all I need to do is tidy it up off of the main avenue there. So that's all anchor district. And I think what I'm even going to do is say that it's going to have a bit of an IT cluster going on. So that entire avenue is going to have some pretty cool zoning on it. Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited about that. So let's run this across like so. Let's just take out that little corner because it's kind of interfering with everything. And I wonder if I could connect these two roads together in just a minute. I'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens. Let's just make sure that piping job is awful. Let's redo some of that. Because it's genuinely terrible. I mean, it worked for what was here before. It did. It doesn't work for what's here right now, though. All right, the pipes are in. The development's actively happening, which is awesome to see. That area is going to look... I think it's going to look kind of interesting, to be honest. I think it's going to look kind of cool. I'm curious about traffic flow as well. 71. Ew, that's actually kind of nasty, to be honest. That's not great. When do you level up? So you've got enough workers. You just need to produce more. So that's fine. That'll happen in due time. So we'll just kind of let that do its thing. I'm slightly surprised that traffic flow is... Oh, it's 77 now. I guess it fluctuates quite a bit. But that's okay. I'm not too worried about it fluctuating. I mean, as long as it's not 61, that's fine. That's kind of how I'm looking at it at the minute. As long as traffic flow isn't like 61%, then I'm okay with it. Speaking of traffic and all that, though, and something that has absolutely nothing to do with traffic. I don't know where that segue came from. The thing I'm thinking about has nothing to do with traffic. I'm thinking that I want to go in and clear all of this space in here. All right. I said I was going to keep these roads. I am going to keep them. Well, most of them. I'm thinking of getting rid of this little stretch of road and turning this space in here into like a central sort of, not necessarily park, but like central kind of city area thing, a park basically. So I think I'm going to do that, to be honest. I think we're going to at least get started on it. So let's see. That's what, 6? And that's what, 6? Okay. So we'll do that sort of thing. We'll take all that out. We'll just give that a little curve there so it kind of matches the other side, right? It's not, this is by no means going to be symmetrical, but I think it'll look kind of nice to have some kind of park type thing in here. I'm also thinking I want to go and do, oh, I want you to stay on the ground. I want to do this and I want to do this, because I want to put some zoning on those bits of road, just there and there. And I also want to make that a district. I want to make it, well, a district and also a park district, because, you know, it's me, right? Like the whole thing is, it is a scenario, it is a challenge, it is all that, but I kind of need it to look nice as well. And I think a park, honestly, will cheer people up. And part of the goal, part of the scenario is to have citizen happiness above 85. So I think, personally, a beautiful city center with a beautiful park, I think it would cheer me up, to be totally honest. And this is coming from someone that actually kind of hates living in cities, which is, I thought about that recently. I was recently in Glasgow, and I realized that I hate cities. I love Glasgow. Nothing against Glasgow. I loved being there, but I could never live in one. And I mean, if I had to live in one, it would probably be Glasgow. But I've been in London and thought the same thing. Like, I walk around and I'm like, this is awful. Why do people do this? Also, I'm realizing we have no one that's highly educated. We don't have much education at all, to be honest. That is something I completely neglected. All right then, well, let's try and fix that slightly. But yeah, I was walking around Glasgow and I'm like, you know what? I hate everything about this. Not Glasgow specifically, but just cities in general. Like, they're really, I don't know, they're just unpleasant spaces in my honest opinion. They're just really kind of, just a lot of people. That's what it is. It's just people. I just don't like people, to be fair. But yeah, I'm just walking about and I'm like, everything about this is just cramped and nasty, and I'm bumping into almost everybody, and I'd just rather be in I love small towns. I really do. I was born and raised in a small town. I'm a small town kind of person, to be totally honest. But it's just, I don't know. I was walking about and I'm like, yeah, this is awful. That was genuinely my Glasgow experience. Was just walking about and being like, this sucks. Anyway, let's throw a university in there before I start offending people by telling them how awful places are. That'll hopefully fix our education problem. We actually have a bit of demand for residential as well, which is beautiful news. So I think what I'm going to do is, now that we have Highland District, turn it into an IT cluster. And then let me go back to district zoning and let me go to paint a park area. Because Highland District is not just going to be an IT cluster district, it is also going to be a beautiful park of some sort with an IT cluster in it. I guess, is the way we're going to do that. Middle City Park. Not a bad name, because it is kind of going to be our central city park. So that's not a bad name. We'll just go ahead and tidy that up a little bit. There we go. So Highland District with Middle City Park right in the middle of it. We could probably put some residential zoning around this thing as well, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea. So let's strip out this block a little bit because it's kind of nasty. Let me strip out this space as well because it's kind of nasty. And let me strip out this space and this space because it's all kind of nasty and mixed up and a little bit awful looking. So all of that can go. We can rezone some of it with commercial. That bit's not getting rezoned. But then everything around this Central Park is just going to be high density residential, I think. Because again, as much as we need to get all of our, what do you call it, the local produce commercial going, we do also need a bunch of residential. The part of the challenge here is to get 50,000 people, which honestly is not going to be too difficult to do. But, you know, hopefully we can do that sooner than later. Hopefully that's not like the last part of this challenge. So we'll just surround that area in a bunch of residential. Hopefully that'll build up relatively quickly. We'll have these beautiful big towers right in the middle. And then all of this space in here is just going to be some kind of park. I'm also thinking this fire station can just be moved slightly away from the middle of all of that. Because then we actually get more of the nice big tall buildings in there, which is absolutely what I'm after. But I'm kind of excited to see how this goes. I'm kind of excited. I mean, number one, if we just review our goals here, we are on the way to being a grand city, which is kind of cool. But I mean, happiness is at 80. We're almost at 4,000 squares of organic and local produce. No one really seems to be complaining about those at the minute. These guys are complaining because they need highly educated workers, which will come with, you know, time. Traffic here is a bit awful. Our percentage is 73. So I think we're doing all right. Honestly, I think we're doing okay. So let's just keep on keeping on. And I guess next time we'll turn Highland District and Middle City Park into an actual park. We've obviously got the district for it. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what we can do here. I do think I also want to try and just tidy up this middle space here because it's still really busy. It's still just awful with traffic. And I think I'm also going to look into redoing our buses because obviously, I mean, they're popular relatively. They're 382 people per week is all right. But there's a lot of areas aren't serviced by buses. So I'm thinking it might be worth, well, it might be worth just doing something really quick and cheeky, kind of like this right off the bat, so you can kind of get a bus into each of those areas. And maybe we'll go just sort of down in here. We'll sort of go, I don't know, down this way a little bit. We'll just sort of generally service this area down here with a bus line. And we'll see what that does. But I do think we're getting near the point where I want to start throwing metro lines in here. I think that might end up being a really good idea. I also have a feeling that what sort of golden sandy brown color line is going to end up being kind of popular. Just a feeling. I mean, I might be, and I am probably horrendously wrong in that feeling, but we'll find out next time. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. It's been my absolute pleasure as always. This is all still kind of new, to be honest. I know that sounds weird. I've been a YouTuber for a long time, but you know, it's just people, you guys are all being really kind still, and it's still the best kind of overwhelming. So thank you very much for watching. It's been my absolute pleasure, and I'll see you tomorrow with another episode of City Skylines. Bye-bye.